The simple things great entrepreneurs do, according to Mr. No Fluff. Hey, gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and I want to share with you something that's very unpopular in America, but it's the truth for great entrepreneurs. Why is it unpopular? Well, we live in a society that we want instant gratification. We live in a society where we're willing to stick our hands out and get into debt for a college degree, or willing to get into debt to buy a real estate, or willing to get into debt to buy a car, or willing to get into debt, etc., to be our dreams, without actually having to work for it and come up with creative systems and create systems and use imagination. We don't have to do that. So, what is the most simplest thing that great entrepreneurs do, according to me? That is sacrifice. Entrepreneurs today, living in America and other countries where central bank is heavily infiltrated, as a society and entrepreneurs, we feel like that we can just borrow money to make payroll. That's why so many corporations are going under, because instead of having a proving system that works, instead of having something that's a good model, that doesn't matter. All that matters is how much can we borrow. For example, as a real estate investor, sometimes I help my students wholesale deals. Okay, and coach them and tell them what to do so they can move their properties. And many of the money people, or the cash buyers, I should say, don't even have their own cash. They are using credit. They're using home equity loans. They are using so many things that it's not their own money. They don't even have $10,000 in their banking account or $20,000 in their banking account, but they'll have a revolving line of credit for a couple of hundred, or they may have, home equity loan, etc. So what that means is that people are starting to invest not because they have a skill set or they've created business that create cash flow, not because they had great savings habit. No, today they just stick their hand out and they get money, and then they go invest, and then later on the bankers will crash the market and suck these people out. What most people haven't understand is that if you want to go somewhere in life, you could inject yourself with a bunch of steroids, debt, and then get inflated, right? Bubble up. Or you can actually do the hard work that's required to build that, body or physiques that you're looking for. You got to eat right, you got to put the cardio in, you got to put the gym time in. And see, no one wants to do that. So the number one simplest thing for great entrepreneurs is sacrifice. For example, when I graduated college, I had $100 to my name. I decided to live in my car and not get a job, because at that time I knew I was young, I didn't have a family, I didn't have kids, and I could take major risk. And of course, I could have got a job like all my other friends, making 40 grand, 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand right out of college or whatever. Or, when work my way up, I decided I didn't want to do that. I'd rather just live in my car and start my first business. And fortunately, I rode the edge of technology, kind of much like what I'm doing here with the YouTube. But back in the days was through SEO, search engine optimization. And this is like before Google was even Google, it was just Yahoo. There was directories. So I learned how to SEO before the word was even termed, and I rode the wave, and, I sacrificed. I lived in my car, I lived below my means, and, and it was hard. I started a moving company. I had to do like 3 moves a day. Working like 15, 16-hour days as a slave worker, as a manual labor worker. I can't, I'm doing 3 moves, big moves. I want small move, apartments, houses, and I sacrifice, and that blossomed into having one business that I owned, that moving company, for 14, 15 years, and I made multi-million dollars from it many years and many years after. Allowed me to open my second business, my third business, and get into the rental business, but it all started through sacrifice. And same thing now, when I give all my stuff to the homeless, just a little while ago, like about 2 years ago, or a little bit more. And when homeless, I came back, to start my business, which now I wanted to be a public speaker and a writer, which, I can't speak and I can't write, but I'm still doing it to try to help you guys realize you can start where you stand and be your dreams. But to start this business, I didn't go borrow money from a credit card or go borrow money from a hard money lender or a bank or a family member. No, man, I just tightened my belt. I slept, I was sleeping in my car. When we got a apartment, we're living, below our means. I have an air mattress, for my family. We hardly have anything, and not because we're poor and we can't consume. No, because we want to sacrifice for our future, for our kids' future. And we know that the market is about to change. So why should I go buy something and make Haverty's rich? Why not just hold on and use that money I was going to pay $3,000 or $4,000 for a nice bed? Why not buy a house subject to? Why not just buy someone's house and just take over their payments, is what I'm trying to say, for that $2 or $3,000. And now I'm having a property. It has 0% interest, almost like 2 or 3% on a 30-year note, where my mortgage on a beautiful home that doesn't need any repairs is going to be like $600, and the rentals in that area are going to be $1,500-$1,600 for the same exact house. Why not put the $3,000 and buy a property subject to, and then cash flow $600-$700? So then I'll take that cash flow from that property and then buy me a Haverty's furniture or a Haverty's bed or whatever other people do, versus them go and put it on credit. I'm sacrificing, not spending my cash so I can come up with the right punch and, maximize my money. Okay, that's what sacrifice is. Okay, sacrifice is you want things, you really need things, and you're not going to execute because you're waiting for the right opportunity, which is patience, right? Because you've done the sacrifice, so it allows you to be patient for the right moment. Like 2016 was not the right moment to get in real estate. 2017, nope. 2018, nope. But 2019 and going further, as the market starts crashing, it's going to be a great opportunity. And one of the simplest great entrepreneurs, the simple thing great entrepreneurs do is they sacrifice. I've started all my businesses through sacrifice. I never borrowed any money. And I keep saying that to you, not to brag, to let you guys know that you can do it too, dude. It's not gonna be glamorous. Just I could have go make a payment on a nice car or something, or go buy a nice car cash, but then I'm gonna lose my money to invest it in a great opportunity that's about to come. It doesn't make any sense. I'd rather just live below my means for just a couple of years and then exponentially grow. Right? Because I just came from being homeless, right? And go back to where I was and a lot more, right? Not because I want material things, but just to show you guys that you can be your dreams, and this is the path that I'm going to be my dreams, and I'm sharing it with you. I'm not charging guys $1, right? It's not a cool path. No one says to go, hey, they're gonna go sleep on an air mattress. No one's gonna say, well, man, I don't have any furniture in my house because I'm not gonna spend my money on some depreciating asset when the crash is right around the corner. I'm not gonna go do that because I don't want to have a job. I don't want to go do that and get all these cool things so I could be like the other dudes and the other girls, because I don't want to get a job. I'd rather have freedom where I can hang out with my kid every day. So that's what sacrifice is. Like before, guys, I lived it up and drive a $100,000 car, and I showed you guys how I lived that life. Now I'm living a different life because I'm starting all over. But I'm starting all over and making the right moves that I'm going to exponentially overpass that $100,000 car in the very, very near future, guys. Okay, and the way I'm doing it is not through debt. The way I'm doing it is not through a business plan. The way I'm doing it is not to go to a small business association and get a loan, or put it on my credit card or home equity loan, or borrow from my friends and family. No, sir. No, ma'am. The way I'm doing it is through my imagination. The way I'm doing it through my creativity. The way I'm doing it is the way that I try to teach you guys that, hey, you can do it through sacrifice, imagination, creativity, dude. And the material things are just an illusion. And the material things are just a distraction from what I want to be and what I can be. And I'm already it, dude. That's the greatest thing. Like before, I didn't know that I was it. Now I'm already it. That's why these things I'm just doing for you guys to show you, like, hey, man, doesn't matter if you have to work at a moving company and you have a full-time job, if you have two jobs, or or if you have a business and now you're in debt, or if you bought 4 or 5 houses as a home equity